Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Wix and back with another video. This one is gonna be about our beloved browser Chrome. It's the most used browser right now, so I thought why not make a video about how to set it up, about settings in Chrome and what they do, and see if you need them on or you need them off. It's not gonna be how to speed up Chrome, because none of these settings will actually speed up Chrome itself. There are some settings that might free up some memory in your PC, because we all know Chrome likes RAM, but nothing to actually speed up Chrome. If you want a guide on how to speed up Chrome, there's not much of a guide. Just uninstall some extensions that you don't need. Usually when browsers run slow, it's because there's too many extensions installed. That's the 90% of the cases. Otherwise you might have a problem, but I digress. Just wanted to say, this is not about performance in Chrome. This is mostly about what the settings do, what they mean, and see if you want them on or off for yourself. So let's go through the menu of Chrome, the entire thing on the left side, the ones we need actually. So first things first, I assume you have a Google account. If not, it would be nice to have one for Chrome. On our first tab over here on You and Google, we go there and then we see this. What do we have here? We have sync. I am logged in with this dummy account here. I just made this one for this video, so it's not really, it's gonna get deleted after the video. But just to showcase syncing or what the settings are when you actually have it set up to sync. I made this account, and what is syncing? Syncing, what it does is what it says in the name, sync a bunch of things between browsers. So let's say you have Chrome on your PC and you have Chrome on your phone. Some things will be synced between them. Or you have Chrome on your work PC and you have Chrome at home, and you want to have the same bookmarks on your work PC as you have at home. Basically, if you use Chrome on multiple devices, some things will be synced, so you have them on every device where you use Chrome. And it's useful. It's not very private, because everything that will be synced will be stored in the cloud in Google, so Google will see whatever you sync, but it's very useful. So let's go through it. Sync and Google services. Click on that, and yeah, as you can see, I have sync turned on. But if we go here to manage what you sync, you do not, I don't think you want to sync everything. Sync everything syncs everything in this list. But we don't want to sync everything in this list. So we're gonna go to customize sync and then apps. I don't use this, not needed. If you need it, then sure, sync it, but I don't really use this. Might be useful for some people. Bookmarks, yes, I do want to sync bookmarks. Basically, if I had a bookmark now here and I go to my phone and I go to bookmarks, I want to see that bookmark. That's what sync does. Will sync the bookmarks throughout your devices. Extensions, yes, I do want to sync extensions, because I don't want to go and manually install extension on every Chrome that I use on every device. You just install it on one, turn on sync extensions, and it will sync them to all your Chrome instances. History, I don't really use history, so I don't sync it. If I want to find another site that I visited on a different device, I just Google it again, go to the site again, so I don't really use history. Settings, these are browser settings, so the settings I'm doing here right now will be synced to other Chromes on other machines if I want to, and yes, I do want to, because I don't want to go and manually configure every instance of Chrome, so I'm syncing settings. Theme, yes, if I set theme here, I want the same theme everywhere. Reading list, I don't really use reading list, so I turn the sync off. If you use reading list, sure, keep it on. Open tabs, no. I haven't seen anyone sync the open tabs, although I did hear about somebody that had it on by mistake, and he was wondering why are my tabs just getting cloned to my other Chromes. It's because of this setting. It will sync open tab. So if I open a tab here, it will open a tab on my phone. So I keep this off. Save tab groups. Again, if you use tab groups and you have a few saved, you might want to sync this. I don't use tab groups, so it's no point. Password and passkeys. We'll get to this a bit later, but yes, if you're using Google Password Manager that's in Chrome, you would want this to be synced. So you can use the Google Password Manager on other devices, even if you added the passwords from here. Addresses and more, this is relating to autofill data, which I don't use. I don't want the browser to store my address or name or things like that, so I don't use it. This basically comes in useful if you go to a site, try and they ask for your street address, and you type in your street address, blah blah blah. Chrome will save it, and then it can sync it across the devices. So if you want to make an account with the same address on a different device, if it's synced, Chrome will pre-fill it for you. But I don't really want to keep that data in a browser. That's personal data, so I don't let Chrome remember autofill data and I don't sync it. Payment methods, again, if you use payment methods from Chrome or you have payment methods saved in Chrome, then yes. Otherwise, no. I don't use payment methods in browsers. I use my cards or PayPal or whatever on the site itself. I'm not saving any payment methods in a browser because browsers are not secure, so I wouldn't trust them with personal info like that. And it's not just Chrome, none of them. I wouldn't trust a browser with this kind of data. With the passwords, you can trust them because those are encrypted, so they're not going to store it in clear text, and they cannot get your password to decrypt them unless they get your password to your Google account. But securing an account, a Google account or any account, that's a different video. So okay, we got through manage what you sync. Let's go down the list. Control how your browsing history is used. This is more related to your Google account and what activity Google stores about you. For me, if I go here, I click it, it's off. I would keep this off unless you want to give Google information about yourself, so Google can suggest more accurate ads to you and things like that. I don't see the point of this. I don't really use ads from sites, so I don't really need Google to suggest things to me. If you like things like this, then by all means turn on activity and use it, but I don't. And if you turn it on, there's an option here to auto delete it periodically, but again, I wouldn't turn it on at all unless for some specific reason you actually need it, but I don't see how that would be the case. Alright, continuing back to where we were. Encryption options. This refers to your passwords and your synced content, basically. You can choose to have it encrypt with your Google account, which is what I would recommend. Basically, when you log into your account in Chrome, it will automatically decrypt so you can use your passwords. Or you can give it your own sync passphrase. It's like a password. And whenever you set up sync, it will ask for that password to be able to decrypt the synced information on a different PC. I used to have it like this, but as you can see, payment methods, addresses, and Google Pay won't be encrypted. Browsing history from Chrome won't sync. It's a upside and down. So upside is that Google can't see your data because you're encrypting it with your own password. Downside is some things won't sync or not be encrypted. So that's why I prefer doing with your Google account. They already know my password. It's fine. Then we have allow Chrome sign in over here. What this means is if you sign into an application like Gmail with your account, it will automatically sign you into Chrome as well with that account. If you don't want that, uncheck this. Because I don't know, maybe some people just want to log into their email and don't want to sign in automatically to Chrome and have data synced over here. Maybe just want to check the email. But if you want to use sync on Chrome, this needs to be on. help improve Chrome's features and performance? No, not really, no. User statistics and crash reports to Google. No, they can get that data from other people. Again, this is mostly by principle and privacy. It's not anything that would affect your browsing. Make search and browsing faster? No, I don't want URL sent to Google. Google just needs to know what I do on their site, not what I do on other sites. Enhanced spell check? Nope, I don't want text being sent to Google to spell check me. I don't want Google to know what I'm typing. Improve search suggestions? Again, nope. It's gonna send that what you type to your default search engine. In this case, I am using Google, so this doesn't really matter. But I still keep it off. If you use a different search engine than Google, you might want to have it on, but no point. Turn it off. And we're done with that tab. Now customize your Chrome profile. Meh. If you want to change how the profile looks and stuff, sure. This is where you can import bookmarking settings. You can choose a different browser and click import. But they used to have a file import, but I guess it doesn't do it now. Alright, let's go to the next menu. Autofill and passwords. Google Password Manager. So I do recommend using a password manager, not necessarily the one in Chrome or not necessarily Google Password Manager, but I do recommend using a password manager. It's more secure than reusing the same password on multiple sites because you don't want to remember too many passwords. And it's more secure because it can help you generate hard to crack passwords, so you don't have password 123 exclamation mark or things like that, like most people do, because those are not hard to crack. So I do recommend using a password manager, not necessarily this one, but I use a third-party password manager. I use Bitwarden, and to use that you install a Bitwarden extension into Chrome, and that will do the pre-filling and giving you the passwords and saving the passwords. But if you don't want to deal with that, then use Google's password manager. I do recommend using one. Okay, so we click on Google Password Manager and we get this screen. And if you notice up here in the top left, you have passwords, checkup and settings. Passwords will be the screen where you see the list of passwords you have saved. If you're using a different password manager, there is an option in that one to export passwords as a CSV file, and this is where you can import them to Google Password Manager. On the screen, just select a CSV file and give it that file that you exported from your other password manager, and you will add the passwords in here. You can add like I did here, if you notice, a standalone shortcut to Google Password Manager. It's not actually an application, it's just another browser window that runs separately to just show you the same UI. So it's not really another thing you install, it's just a progressive web app that installs and you can run it just by itself. And then you have settings over here. Now if you're not using Google Password Manager, you can turn this off. You see it says offer to save passwords. Basically, even if you're not using the Google Password Manager, whenever you sign into a site or create an account to a site, it will offer to save that password in Google Password Manager. If you're using a third-party password manager, then you don't need it to offer to save passwords. So turn this off so it doesn't bother you. Sign automatically. This is to sign into your Google Password Manager automatically when you sign into your Google account on Chrome. I would keep this on, otherwise you're gonna have to sign in separately to your password manager. On device encryption, don't need to touch this, it's already on. Import passwords, we already talked. Add shortcut, this is where you can add a shortcut to Google Password Manager like I did, and it shows down here on your taskbar. And that's the Google Password Manager. We can close this. Payment methods. Again, I wouldn't suggest you save any payment methods in the browser, so everything should be off. If you want to save payment method in the browser, then maybe you can keep them on, but I don't see the point. Up to you. Usually when I pay online, I either use like a one-time use card and I input the number myself, so if it saves that, it's still no use, or I use PayPal. But yeah, if up to you. I don't use payment methods and I will keep all those off. Save and fill addresses, this is where you tell Chrome to save those kind of things. Again, I don't use them, but you will need to turn this on if you want to, when we to sync them. When we were on that sync page, this is what it refers to. If this is off, there would be nothing to sync. So yeah, I would keep this off unless you actually want it. And then I think we're done on this. Privacy and security. Pom pom pom. You could do go to safety check here and it will run you through a wizard where you can choose different things, but that's not all the options. So I would like to just go one by one and set them manually, not with the wizard, because with the wizard skips some things. Clear browsing data. You know what this does. If not, this will delete site data, cookies, basically your saved logins, your temp file, your cached image files. I don't really do it unless I want to log out of everything. Then I do clear site data and nothing will be auto logged into because I just deleted everything. Up to you if you want to do this, but nowadays, unless if you want to delete your browsing history, then you go here and you choose the period of time when you want to delete your browsing history. Wink wink. Privacy guide. Yeah, this is one of the wizards, but let's not use this. We will just do our own thing when it comes to privacy. Third-party cookies. What are third-party cookies? Third-party cookies are cookies from third parties. I know, mind-boggling. No, basically when you log into a site, that site has the right to put cookies on your PC, basically to save your login, to remember that you're already logged in. So when you go to that site again, you just go into your account. That's done by using cookies. But there's also some things called third-party cookies, which are basically cookies from sites you're not visiting. So let's say I go to YouTube. YouTube will make a cookie to keep me logged in, of course, and my preferences or whatever. But if I allow third-party cookies, Facebook might set a cookie on my browser just to track what sites I go to. And basically will help Facebook know I visited YouTube. And that's why we block third-party cookies. We don't allow it at any point. We don't want other sites to know what sites we visit. Yes, if I'm coming to your site, then you should know I'm there. But if I'm coming to site A, site B has no right to know I went to site A, unless they own that one too. But anyway, block third-party cookies. And then down here, allow related sites to see your activity in the group. No, don't want this. A company can define a group of sites that use cookies to share your activity within the group. This is off in incognito. See, this one is not shown. If you use that privacy checkup wizard, this setting will not be shown. We need this off. We don't want, basically as a group of sites, I don't know, the Google one, for example, Gmail, YouTube, they could define that as a group, and then they would share activity between them. So YouTube would know what you do in Gmail, Gmail will know what you do in YouTube, things like that. No need. Don't care, don't want to link them. Turn that off. Send a do not track request. Well, do not track requests, you should turn this on. What they do, they tell the site, hey, don't track me with cookies. Every site you visit, this request will be sent. But problem with this is that the sites can choose if they respect this do not track or not. So it depends on the site you're visiting. If they respect this, then they will not track you. If they don't, they'll track you anyway, even if this is on. But you should turn this on, just to add another layer of please don't track me. Sites allowed to use third-party cookies. This is if you blocked all of them and you need, by some reason out of this world, you need third-party cookies, then you can add exceptions here. So whatever site you add here, it will allow third-party cookies to be set. So that's in third-party cookies. We go back, adds privacy. Now, what is adds privacy? What is add topics? Google added a thing in Chrome. Firefox doesn't have this. I don't know if Edge has this. They might have removed it, but what Google added to Chrome is this add topics. So basically what this does is when you visit sites in Chrome will start remembering the topics of those sites. So let's say I go to Hacker News, Chrome will remember, oh, he's going to news sites. Maybe I go to an online shop, Chrome will remember shopping. Maybe I go to, I don't know, Facebook, Chrome will remember social media as topics. And then when a site I visit, let's say I go to, I don't know, PayPal, whatever. I'm not saying PayPal does this, but it's just an example. I go to PayPal, and then PayPal can ask Chrome, hey, this user, what ad topics do they usually use? What topics do they usually search for? And then Chrome will give them those saved topics, and the site will feed me ads based on those topics. Yes, this helps with getting more accurate ads for you, but it's by privacy, because it basically saves everything you do, everything you're interested in. Let's go into it. Turn it off. Unless you want accurate ads, turn it off. Don't need any topics to be saved about me. Then the next one down, site suggested ads, again off. Don't want any ads to be suggested. And ads measurement, off. This allows, again, the sites you visit to measure if to track basically if the ad they showed you had an impact. So basically if you click on it or something, they will track that. But it's not our job to let them measure their ads on us, right? So everything off in ads privacy. Then we go to security. Now we have enhanced protection and we have standard protection. We're not going to talk about no protection because we all know no protection is bad, kids. So enhanced protection, what does this do? This is the best option here. Basically, when you go to a site that's known for having malware on it or trying to steal things from your PC, stuff like that, Chrome will block it. It will say, hey, dangerous site ahead, do not go. There's two levels. There's enhanced protection, which is the most up-to-date list of bad sites. Downside to this one is that it sends every site you visit to Google to give you like real-time protection. It has to send the site you visit up to the Google servers, check and give you back a response, yeah, it's fine, or no, block it. This is the most secure one. If you don't really care about things like that, I would suggest you turn it on. Then we have the standard protection. Standard protection is more not real time, so you don't send every URL to Google to check it. As I understand, this has an offline list. Yeah, downloads an extension when you visit a site, Chrome sends an obfuscated portion of the URL. So they do track some through a privacy server that hides your IP. So yeah, it's a bit more private and a bit not up to date. So we won't have the latest bad sites list, but if it's a very well known one and it's decently old, it will have it. I use standard protection on Chrome. On Firefox, I use enhanced protection because Firefox doesn't, I mean, yeah, I would send URLs to Firefox, but I would rather Firefox have the data than a company that their whole business is selling people's data. No protection, like we talked about it, don't do it. Warn you if a password was compromised in a data breach. I would keep this on, that's very useful. And help improve security on the way for everyone. No, just turn it off. Always use secure connections. You want this on. What this does, so you have two protocols for visiting web pages: HTTP and HTTPS. The S in the latter one stands for secure. So when you go to a HTTPS site, the traffic between you and the site itself is encrypted. So if anybody is sniffing on the network, they don't see what data you exchange with the site. With HTTP, if somebody is sniffing on the network, then they will see exactly what you're sending to the site and what you get back. Nowadays, most sites have HTTPS, and what this setting does is force Chrome to only use HTTPS. So if you go to a site and by mistake you type http google.com, Chrome will go and switch that to https google.com. So it always goes to the secure one. And if sites don't support HTTPS, they are not worth visiting. There's probably a very old site or somebody trying to steal some data. So never visit HTTP sites. Chrome will warn you when they see HTTPS is not available. Chrome will say, hey, we switched to HTTP because we don't have HTTPS, but we don't recommend visiting this site because your connection to the site is not private. Then we go to secure DNS. What is secure DNS? It's the same thing as HTTP, only it applies to DNS requests. DNS requests are, let's say I go to google.com, the browser needs to know the IP of google.com so it can connect to it, because connections on the network don't work with names, they work with IPs. And what happens then, Chrome will send a request to a DNS server and say, hey, which one is the IP for google.com? And the DNS server gives me an IP back to the browser, and then the browser goes to that IP and connects and gives you the site. That's DNS. And secure DNS is basically the same thing. The normal DNS will not encrypt the first request. When it asks, hey, what's the IP for google.com? This will not be encrypted. And if anybody is sniffing around, they will see you want to connect to google.com. So again, privacy not existing. With the encrypted DNS, this request, hey, I want to see the IP of google.com, will be encrypted. So whoever sniffing cannot see what site you want the IP for. So I'll keep this on. For a DNS provider, you need to change this because right now it's using the Windows one, but I never set a DNS in Windows. It's taking it from the router, and in the router it's probably using your ISP DNS, and some ISPs may not support encrypted DNS, so then it downgrades to a non-encrypted DNS. So for that reason, we will choose one of these here. I recommend NextDNS or Cloudflare DNS, just so you keep it out of the hands of greedy Google. Up to you. I use Cloudflare usually. From what I've read, Cloudflare actually says they don't store any personal information except the URL that was requested, just for statistics, I think, or something, but they don't know who requested that DNS request. So for now, I would trust Cloudflare with it. So set Cloudflare in there. Manage V8 security. Turn on additional protection in Chrome's JavaScript and WebAssembly engine. Let's click on that. Go up top. Now what this does is optimize the JavaScript code in Pages, so the pages run faster, the functionality. This one, I would keep it on. Let's put it like that. I would keep it on, but that's because I know I'm not going to malicious sites. I don't randomly click links. I usually know if the site is safe or not. But if you just want to be the safest that you can, you should click don't allow and see if sites are broken because of it. This might break some sites that rely on it. That's a bad implementation of a site if they do that, but As you can see, it says reduce the performance, but it doesn't reduce performance. It just keeps the performance at default, but makes V8 more resistant to attacks. So why they did this, I don't know, I didn't ask Google why they did this, but technically if this V8 optimizer would run some things on the JavaScript code in a site, if there's a bug in it and the site specifically targets that bug, it could use the bug in the V8 optimizer to run code on your PC, steal some data, things like that. And that's why it's safer to not allow V8 optimizer to run, because you reduce the attack surface. But I would keep it on because it does make a difference. It does speed up a bunch of sites. I just wanted to explain it. It's up to you if you want to use it. I would keep it on. And then you have the exceptions. If you keep it on and you say, hey, this site is not allowed to use it, or this site is always allowed to use it, you have options there to add those exceptions. Then we don't scroll, we just go down. Manage security keys. This is mostly related to physical keys, security keys like YubiKey, but it's a more advanced topic. If you're using a YubiKey, you already know these things, so I'm not gonna go into it. Keep going. Manage certificates. Don't need to do anything. It's a more advanced topic. Certificates managed by Chrome, again, you shouldn't need to change anything. Google Advanced Protection Program, this is again something related to your Google account, but feel free to explore it at your own pace, because it's not necessarily related to Chrome. So close that, and let's see where we at. Next is performance. And the first thing on performance tab is memory saver. Click this. This will save you some RAM, because you know how Chrome likes to eat your RAM. By turning this on, it will make it so inactive tabs, so tabs that you haven't looked at in a while, they will be marked as inactive, and Chrome kind of puts them to sleep and frees up some memory. So keep this on. One thing to know about this, that if you're playing music on YouTube in a tab and you haven't clicked on that tab in a while, you're doing something else in a different tab, Chrome might put that tab to sleep and stop your music. If that happens, you can add an exception here and say, hey, this site, this tab, always keep it active, in case you have problems like that. Preload pages, this will notice which pages you visit often, and it will start saving some data from them, like cache them. So next time you go on that site, it will instantly load, or almost, it will load faster. I don't want to do this. I don't want to save any page data in my browser or any cache on this machine just to make it load faster. It's fast enough if I go in, it loads every time. So I wouldn't turn this on. Up to you. If you turn it on and you see it does a lot of difference, then by all means, but I don't want anything cached or saved locally more than it already is, because they already do a bunch of caching and saving. Then it's appearance. I'm not gonna go over this one. Basically, you customize how Chrome looks, tabs, how tabs look, blah blah. Search engine, this is where you can change your default search engine. So basically, when you type up here in the address bar, it will automatically search with the default search engine. So for me, it's Google. It has a bunch of other options: Yahoo, Bing, DuckDuckGo. You can, if you click manage, you can add your own or set a different name for them or something like that. And down here with site search, you can actually use in the address bar, you can use @bookmarks, and you will search in your bookmarks and stuff like that. @Gemini, that's Google's AI. Or @tabs, you can search in your tabs or search in your history. But yeah, if you want to change the default search engine to something more private, like I will say DuckDuckGo is more private, but they do some shady stuff as well. So the private ones will be, I don't know, start page or something like that, or Brave search if you want. But I'm using Google, so just leave it as default, I guess. It's default by default. Default browser. If you don't have Chrome set as default browser, you can make it default here. But I don't even know why they keep this setting, because it will scream at you every time. As you see up here, every time it will scream at you, hey, Chrome isn't your default browser. Set as default. So you're always gonna see that. On startup, from here you set what page you want to be open when you start the browser up, or when you open a new tab. So the options are new tab page, which will be the page where Chrome loads all your recent mostly visited sites, like those icons. Continue where you left off. Basically, when you start Chrome, it will reopen the sites it had open when you closed it last time. So if you want to keep your tabs through restarts or things like that, use this. Open a specific page. This is if you want a specific home page. Let's say I open Chrome and I wanted to go straight to ground news, for example, a news site. You can set that here. You click this, add a new page, and it will always open and go to that page when you start it up. Languages, don't care. Downloads, this is where you can change where the automatic download folder is. Like you see right now, it's in my user. This is true for everybody by default. That's why whatever you download goes to that folder in your user profiles, because it's set here. You can choose to ask whenever you download a file where to save it. So when you click on a link to download a file, it will not automatically put it in downloads. Chrome will ask you, hey, where do you want to save this file? If you turn this on, it will do that. Otherwise, you will go straight to your downloads. Show downloads when they're done. It will show you when it's done downloading, so you can click on it and open it. And then we go to system, and let's see what we have here. Continue running background apps. No. When basically what this does is when you close Chrome, if there's something on a site or some service from a site that runs in the background, that will not be closed when you close Chrome. I don't know why you would want that. Maybe there are some applications for it, like, I don't know, YouTube Music. If you keep playing music in the background, it might keep that one alive. But by principle, I would never want anything to run in the background when I close Chrome. If I want it open, I'm gonna keep Chrome open. If I close Chrome, I want everything to be closed. So I would turn this off. Use graphics acceleration when available. Yes, this one needs to be on. I mean, needs. It doesn't, but it's way faster if you do it. This will make Chrome use your GPU to decode video or to render some stuff on certain sites. Basically, it runs faster. If you keep this on, it runs faster, and I suggest you keep it on. And then your entire computer's proxy settings, you don't really need to care about this. If you're using proxies, you already know what to do. If you're not using proxies, you don't care about this. And that is about it. Then the only item left is the extensions. This is where you can see what extensions you have installed. You can remove, disable, but this is not a Chrome guide. This is a settings in Chrome guide. And that was the guide. I think I've talked about everything. Can't think of anything else. So I hope you learned something. This is the default settings. They're not default. These are the settings that I would do when I install a fresh browser. Not necessarily Chrome. Some other browsers have the same settings. Some of them have a bit different. I will take a look at Edge, I think, next time to see how many of them are the same. But these are my recommended settings for your browser. They include some privacy, they include some security, and a bit of resource use limitation with that inactive tab sleeping. That's it for me for this video. I will catch you in the next one. Ta-da!